What's up, y'all? This is Jonathan Lippy, Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com. And today we have chapter 2 of Machetes Dipped in Rum, narrated by the Cecil West AI. The title of the chapter, Land of the Heartless.
Land of the Heartless. After the group hustled more money and returned to Cleveland, manager Diego Hodge, who was responsible for promoting the Eazy show in Cleveland, helped secure the audition. After hearing a verse from Layzie, Wright decided to sign and mentor the group under his tutelage and the foundation of Ruthless Records. They're different. They got all kind of flows. That's just the beginning. Eazy-E Flesh. N did not sign with Ruthless Records as he molded a solo career while initially staying on the peripheral of Bone Thugs group ventures. The reason why I wasn't signed to the original Ruthless contracts is because I was going through some stuff with smoking sherm, smoking dope. We got into a scuffle one night. I broke a window, broke a glass, ended up in the hospital. They went and signed the contracts and clearly didn't want me a part of those contracts. But we had already recorded music, and Eazy-E came to me and told me that they don't want to pay me. The dilemma started right there, so I kept smoking sherm. He told me that my brothers didn't want to pay me, so I really went nuts after that. And all I did, homie, if I'm on 2 songs, pay me for them 2 motherfucking songs and get it over with. I never got paid shit until I sued him. Flesh and
one funny story that I can tell you about Bone that's hilarious. Bone, we rented him a house in Northridge, and we got a phone call once. 2 of the Bone guys were brothers. Stanley was fighting with the other guys, firing some shots at them at the house. So I went out there with some of the security guys, took the gun away from him, and we took him to this hospital to be evaluated. So it's me, his mother, Animal, Mike, and Stanley. We'll send a doctor out. The doctor comes out. He asks Stanley a few questions and says, okay, we'll bring him in. But the way they bring him in, they send the sheriffs out and handcuff him to bring him in. But the sheriff looked through the plexiglass and he didn't know who he needed to bring in. He thought it was Animal or Mike. You can hear him in his dispatch. He says, hey, I need some guys. I'm not going out there alone. So they say, well, how many guys do you need? He says, I need at least 50 to 100 guys.
Wright rebranded Bone as Thugs in Harmony, due in part to the penchant of the group to harmonize. Not wanting to completely abandon the Bone moniker, the group and Wright then established the name Bone Thugs in Harmony. Bone and Wright began a close-knit professional and personal relationship, which allowed the members of Bone to learn the business aspects of the music industry from one of the best to ever to do it. Basically, Eazy-E was just the coolest motherfucker to kick it with. 17, kicking it with a star. It don't get no better than that. Layzie in June 1994, 1 month before Eazy-E graced the cover of the Source magazine, and 1 month after they signed a 6-album publishing and recording contract with Ruthless Records. Bone released their major label debut EP, the certified quadruple platinum Creepin on Come Up. We was fresh off the streets, really living the life we were talking about, trying our best to get out. That album is where we designed our style, everything about ourselves and what we came into. That was the album when we were coming into ourselves as artists. Layzie Wright also established a professional relationship between Bone and Los Angeles, California-based producer Tim DJ Unique Middleton, who signed to Ruthless Records in 1993. Unique produced 5 of the 8 total songs on the EP, while Wright was listed as executive producer and credited with photography. Unique was there in the beginning. He helped us pull our sound out early on. Unique's crucial to Bone's mode. Flesh N. The first single, Thuggish, Ruggish, Bone, introduced the world to Bone Thugs in Harmony through audio and visual mediums. While the lyrics and staccato flows caught the listener off guard, the accompanying video, which featured Eazy-E with Bone in Cleveland and was directed by Jerry Heller's brother Terry, portrayed the members as fresh and unique. The video intro showed Bone singing over a barrel fire in Cleveland, then quickly jumped to a portion of the infamous speech from Bridgeport, Connecticut-born Dr. Calvin O. Butts III regarding thugs, a speech now more associated with Bone than Butts. Picture back in the olden days when everybody be out there standing around a burning barrel. It's cold outside and everybody sharing a note or two. Just like that, we did it the exact same way. Flesh. When each member rapped their verse, the distinction between their unique voices was apparent. Their fashion and unbraided hair of busy would go on to signify their persona at large. Also featured in the video was local Cleveland, Ohio singer Shatasha Williams, who sang the chorus and became one of the initial member of Mo Thugs. We stepped outside the studio after we did our verses. We were outside smoking, and she was walking down the street and asked us if it was a recording studio. We said, yeah, it was Eazy-E's studio, and she was like, oh my gosh, well, I can sing. We were like, oh yeah? And we told her to sing something for us. And it was crazy, so we asked her to sing the chorus. So we brought her in, and Eazy was asking who she was, and we told her she could sing, and we wanted to see how she sounded singing the hook. So we had her sing the chorus, and we were all looking at her with our mouths open. And Eazy knew that was it, and told them to record her right then. She just walked in off the street. Crazy. The video memorably faded out with an image of the cross streets of East 99 and St. Clair, and the song itself was certified platinum less than a year after it was released. Creepin on A Come Up featured a co-production credit from DJ Yella for their second single, For the Love of Money, a credit he shared with Wright, who was featured on the song. Despite appearing in the Thuggish Ruggish Bone video, but not on the track, Flesh N opened up the For the Love of Money video and track, followed by his younger brother Layzie. Flesh was going to the loony bin and psych wards, fighting police and fighting cases. It was a real crazy time. Busy filmed again in inner-city Cleveland, Ohio by Terry Heller. The video continued the premiere video's motifs: oversized clothes, both braided and unbraided hair, dice games, weed smoke, and evading police. The single was certified gold, and the accompanying video marked the final appearance of Eazy-E in a music video. The third verse was from Eazy himself, perhaps no bigger cosign at the time, and his slow and deliberate flow gently offset the rapid-fire Bone verses perfectly. I remember when he wrote his verse, he was so excited. He was like, I got one, y'all, I got one. And he went in there and laid it, and I just remember us loving it and cracking up. You had to be there to feel the love and energy from such a talented and smart, inspiring dude. Wish Los Angeles, California-based Jewel Capels, a studio singer for Ruthless Records and Death Row Records, later proclaimed the sonic foundation for the Love of Money, was originally for Are You Experienced, the September 1991 studio debut from fellow Los Angeles, California natives and Ruthless duo Yomo Smith and Mark Mulkey Green. The album contained both a vocal and instrumental version of their song For the Love of Money. For whatever reason, Eazy never put that particular song out until years later when he signed Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. What they did was take the rappers Yomo and Mulkey, but they kept my voice and used the song as it was. Jewel, the Creepin on A Come Up EP, also featured Downfo My Thang, produced by Moreno Valley, California-born David Rhythm D. Weldon, a past Eazy-E collaborator. Weldon also produced a majority of Real Brothas, the August 1995 debut album from Compton, California brothers and fellow Eazy-E proteges Al BG Knockout, Naki and Andre Dresta Wicker. Their first single, 50-50 Love, was dedicated to Eazy after his passing. It wouldn't have been a death row if it wasn't for Eazy-E. A lot of artists there that started their careers came in via Ruthless. I'm one of the people that saw everything pop. I put one of the discs in, and I played one beat. And Eazy went nuts. He went crazy off this beat. He pulled a few stacks out of his sock and was like, Rhythm, you rolling with Ruthless, Rhythm D. Interestingly, Weldon also produced the certified platinum single, Diddy, for the certified gold The 9 Yards, released in October 1992 by Los Angeles, California, native Mitchell Paperboy Johnson. The song garnered a 1994 Grammy nomination for Best Rap Solo Performance and ultimately lost to Let Me Ride by Dr. Dre Johnson, then released a radio mix of Diddy and featured Clarksdale, Mississippi native Nathaniel Nate Dogg Hale, who previously made his debut on the certified triple platinum Dr. Dre debut album The Chronic in December 1992. The Creepin on AH Come Up EP would pave the way for the second Bone Thugs album and international stardom, but not before tragedy.
All right, that wraps up this chapter. We will see you again in chapter 3, The Crossroads.
Beyond the harmony for the fans we celebrate.